Welcome to Animated Movie Recap. Step into the world of animated wonders. Hit subscribe for captivating movie recaps and adventures.
At the beginning of this story, we meet a little girl named Riley. Right from birth, the first emotion to appear within her is joy. She strives to keep Riley happy. Just 33 seconds after joy arrives, sadness appears in Riley's mind. Like joy, sadness tries to improve Riley's day, but due to her nature, she finds it impossible to keep Riley cheerful. Sadness's presence also creates challenges for joy in maintaining Riley's happiness. One by one, all of Riley's emotions come to life in her mind. Fear, anger, and disgust. These emotions reside in a place Riley calls headquarters, where they guide and influence her actions. Using the mind manual, all the emotions work together to keep Riley safe and happy. Each emotion has a specific purpose in Riley's life. Joy, the leader of the emotions, wants Riley to be joyful all the time. Fear protects Riley from danger. Anger keeps her away from people who might take advantage of her innocence. And disgust helps her stay clear of selfish individuals. Sadness, however, feels out of place and believes she has no purpose in Riley's life because she only brings sorrow. To prevent sadness from inadvertently making Riley unhappy, the other emotions keep her away from the control panel. As a result, sadness spends her time in headquarters reading the mind manual. Riley's daily memories are stored as shiny glass balls, which Joy carefully sends to Riley's long-term memory. This way, when Riley feels down, she can recall her happy memories and find the motivation to stay cheerful. These cherished memories in Riley's long-term storage create floating islands in her mind, representing the happy moments she's experienced. For instance, the Friendship Island in Riley's mind formed when she played with her friends. Similarly, all the joyous moments in Riley's life power these floating islands. In the next scene, we see Riley with her family. Riley moves from Minnesota to San Francisco because her dad is starting a new business there. She isn't happy about the move, missing her old home and struggling to like the new city. Inside her mind's headquarters, all her emotions are trying hard to lift her spirits. Joy comes up with the idea of cleaning their messy new house by playing hockey with her parents. This fun activity creates an epic memory, which Joy sends to long-term storage. Riley's dad gets a call from his office and has to leave, so Riley stays home with her mom. Before sadness can make Riley upset again, Joy suggests they go for pizza. Riley and her mom head to a nearby pizza shop, creating another happy memory. Everything seems to be going well, and Joy is succeeding in keeping Riley happy. However, sadness touches one of the happy memory arcs, turning it into a sad one, and Riley becomes sad too. Seeing this, Joy tells sadness to stay away from the happy memories and focus on reading the mind manual, as any memory arc touched by sadness will forever become a sad memory, making Riley unhappy whenever she recalls it. That night, when Riley goes to bed, her mom comes to say goodnight and thanks her for being such a good girl and helping them have a good day. As Riley sleeps, Joy sees her having a nightmare and decides to play one of the epic memories to give her a good dream. Joy promises to always keep Riley happy. The next morning, Riley wakes up excited because it's her first day at school in San Francisco. She gets ready quickly and heads to school. Joy is also excited and eager to create another happy memory for Riley. But Joy is worried that sadness might touch the happy memory arc and turn it into a sad one, so she draws a circle and asks sadness to stay inside it, keeping her away from the control panel. Joy instructs sadness to stay inside the circle all day. At school, when Riley's teacher asks her to introduce herself, fear panics, causing Riley to feel confused and unsure about what to say. Just then, Joy plays one of Riley's happy memories, filling her with confidence. Riley happily introduces herself to the class, and everything seems to be going well. However, Sadness again steps out of the circle and touches a happy memory arc, turning it into a sad memory. Riley starts to miss Minnesota and becomes sad. Joy, frustrated with Sadness, scolds her for disobeying and touching the memory arc. To prevent this sad memory from reaching Riley's long-term memory and forming a floating island, Joy tries to delete it by putting it into a memory vacuum cleaner. Sadness tries to stop Joy, but during the struggle, all of Riley's happy memory arcs fall, causing the floating islands powered by these memories to shut down. Joy and Sadness get sucked into the vacuum cleaner's pipeline and end up in Riley's long-term memory storage. With Joy and Sadness gone, Riley's emotions are left in disarray. In the classroom, Riley becomes completely disoriented and sits down, unable to focus. Sadness tells Joy that without her in headquarters, Riley won't be able to feel happy. Joy, however, reassures Sadness that she has all of Riley's happy memory arcs and plans to plug them back in once they return to headquarters, which will reactivate the floating islands and restore normalcy. Meanwhile, in headquarters, only anger, fear, and disgust are present, trying to manage Riley's emotions as best as they can. Anger, fear, and disgust struggle to control Riley's emotions properly, leading to noticeable changes in her behavior. During dinner, Riley gets angry over a minor issue and snaps at her dad, who then sends her to her room. Meanwhile, Joy and Sadness are determined to return to headquarters. They decide to navigate the narrow paths formed by Riley's floating islands, aware that if they fall, they could lose Riley's happy core memories forever to the memory dump below, where useless memories are discarded. In her room, Riley's dad tries to cheer her up by suggesting they play their favorite childhood game, Monkey Game. However, Riley, still angry and with anger controlling her emotions, refuses to play, causing the Monkey Game floating island to begin crumbling. This island was created from Riley's cherished memories of playing with her dad for the first time. Joy and Sadness witness the island's collapse as they pass by, barely avoiding falling into the memory dump themselves. Joy is baffled by the island's destruction. Joy then decides to reach headquarters via Friendship Island, but the journey is long and exhausting. Sadness, familiar with the route thanks to the mind manual, knows the way, but is too tired to continue. Determined, Joy drags Sadness along. By morning, Riley wakes up and, during a video call with a friend, learns that she has been replaced on their hockey team by a new girl. This news deeply upsets Riley. Anger takes control of Riley's emotions, making her so furious that she abruptly ends her video call. This act causes Friendship Island to crumble, blocking Joy and Sadness's path to headquarters. At this point, they meet Riley's imaginary friend, Bing Bong, who empties his bag for Joy to store all the happy core memories. Bing Bong suggests they can reach headquarters quickly by using the train of thought instead of the long route through the floating islands. Together, Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong arrive in Riley's imagination land, filled with many of Riley's imaginary characters. Bing Bong shows Joy his rocket, which operates to the tune of a song. They also encounter a machine that keeps creating perfect boyfriends for Riley. Meanwhile, Riley attempts to play hockey, but without the power from Hockey Island and lacking any happy core memories of hockey in her long-term memory, she performs poorly and quits the game. This causes Hockey Island to crumble as well. Back in Imagination Land, Mindworkers are dismantling and dumping Riley's old memories and imaginary constructs. When Bing Bong sees them dumping his rainbow rocket, he tries to stop them but to no avail, as Riley no longer thinks about Bing Bong or his rocket. Heartbroken, Bing Bong watches as the rocket is discarded. Joy tries to cheer up Bing Bong but fails. Sadness. Understanding Bing Bong's sorrow hugs him, and Bing Bong starts crying candy tears. This emotional release helps him feel a bit better. The three then continue their journey, determined to reach headquarters as soon as possible. They reach the train of thoughts and board it to head towards headquarters. Meanwhile, at headquarters, anger, disgust, and fear are struggling to manage Riley's emotions in Joy's absence. Fear is especially anxious. Anger then recalls that most of Riley's happy memories are from Minnesota and suggests that Riley should go back there. He believes that if Riley returns to Minnesota, everything will be fine again. Fear is terrified by this idea, as it essentially means encouraging Riley to run away from home. Fear tries to persuade Anger to wait a few more days, to which Anger reluctantly agrees. On the other hand, since Riley has fallen asleep, the train of thought halts, preventing Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong from progressing further. Sadness proposes that they enter the Dream Project to create a happy dream for Riley, which would wake her up and restart the train. Joy and Bing Bong love the idea and decide to proceed. In the Dream Project, they try to craft a happy dream for Riley. However, the dream world's mindworkers capture Bing Bong and lock him up. Joy and Sadness discover that Bing Bong has been kidnapped by a giant clown. Joy cleverly tricks the clown into believing there's a nearby party, causing the clown to rush there and begin wreaking havoc in the Dream Project. Riley, startled by the sudden appearance of the giant clown in her dream, wakes up in fright. With Riley awake, the train of thoughts resumes its journey. Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong board the train, heading towards headquarters. Back at headquarters, the three emotions, anger, fear, and disgust, are also now alert. Anger, still upset, gives Riley the idea to return to Minnesota. Riley likes this idea and begins to plan her return. To go back to Minnesota, Riley needed money, so she stole her mom's credit card and booked a bus ticket for the next day. This was Riley's first act of theft, causing her Honesty Island to collapse, breaking the train of thoughts track. Just before Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong fell into the memory dump, the mind workers saved them. The workers informed Joy that Riley was heading to Minnesota without telling her parents. Alarmed, Joy decided to head to headquarters via Family Island, but since Riley was leaving without telling her family, Family Island also began to collapse. Joy spotted the recall tube, which was sometimes used to recall core memories from headquarters. She decided to use it to reach headquarters quickly. When Sadness tried to join her, Joy refused, worried that Sadness would turn the happy core memories into sad ones. Joy decided to go alone through the recall tube. However, before she could reach headquarters, the collapsing islands caused the recall tube to break in the middle, sending Joy and the core memories plummeting into the deep memory dump. To save Joy, Bing Bong jumped into the memory dump as well. Meanwhile, Riley, without informing her parents, grabbed her bag and set off alone for Minnesota. In the memory dump, Joy repeatedly tried to escape, but failed. Desperate, she looked at Riley's happy core memories and began to cry. While examining the memories, Joy realized that one of Riley's happy memories was actually created from a sad experience. Riley had once been very upset after a poor hockey performance, but her parents' encouragement had transformed that sad memory into a happy one. This revelation struck Joy deeply. Seeing this, Joy realizes that sadness can help make Riley's life normal again. When Riley is sad, she'll recognize her mistakes and feel the need for her parents, which means she won't run away to Minnesota. Joy and Bing Bong find Bing Bong's magical rocket by singing and decide to use it to escape the memory dump. Despite their best efforts, they can't get out because their combined weight is too much. Bing Bong heroically sacrifices himself so that Joy can escape, wanting only to see Riley happy. After escaping the memory dump, Joy tries to convince Sadness how important she is to Riley's life. However, Sadness is deeply disheartened, feeling she only brings Riley sorrow and believes she has no value in Riley's life. As Joy chases after Sadness, trying to explain, Riley's parents come home and, finding her missing, becomes frantic. They start calling her repeatedly. Riley, meanwhile, is heading to the bus and keeps ignoring her parents' calls. Back at headquarters, anger, fear, and disgust realize they made a mistake by encouraging Riley to go back to Minnesota. They attempt to remove the idea from the control panel but fail, and the control panel starts to turn black. Riley, now on the bus, feels completely numb and disconnected. Meanwhile, Joy, in Riley's imaginary world, creates numerous copies of Riley's imaginary boyfriend. Using these copies as a ladder, she climbs up to the cloud where Sadness is and grabs her. They land on the glass window of headquarters together. Anger uses his fiery head to break the glass, allowing Joy and Sadness to enter. Inside headquarters, anger, disgust, and fear watch as Joy to fix everything, but Joy chooses Sadness for the task. Sadness removes the idea of going to Minnesota from the control panel, making Riley realize her mistake. She stops the bus and gets off. Joy then hands all the happy core memories to Sadness, asking her to set things right. As Sadness touches the happy memories, they turn into sad ones, which makes Riley feel better. She starts crying in front of her parents and tells them how much she misses Minnesota. Riley's mom and dad comfort her, saying they miss Minnesota too, and they hug her tightly. Back at headquarters, Sadness calls Joy to the control panel. Together, they create a new mixed memory of happiness and sadness, which forms a new family island. Joy and Sadness learn to work together to keep Riley balanced and happy. Gradually, all the floating islands are rebuilt, and Riley becomes happier than ever before. The mine workers also upgrade the control panel, allowing the emotions to handle Riley's feelings more effectively. In the final scene, we see Riley's mom and dad cheering her on at a hockey match. This marks the end of the movie. Guys, if you liked this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.